Hey, Crystal.
Hi.
Hello. Okay, where you are going to get into the news. This week, we've got some vibes going on. I don't know how many of you have seen Meta's vibes, but they have got some AI generated video creation going on. Um, Meta has tried a lot of different things to compete with the other socials, and this is a bit off-brand in the way of how people use Facebook or would expect to use it, and even how we normally use Instagram. So we'll see how Vibes goes. They are doing AI videos, and there's a new feed where you can create and share short AI generated clips. It's built into the Meta AI app and website. You can remix videos, add music, put visuals, and then push everything to Instagram and Facebook. So basically, it will make your reels for you faster, and it's a video editor using AI. Something that we're going to experiment with, we have not yet. And I think they're trying to grab some of that juice that is over there on TikTok, because this will allow you to create videos easier, presumably. And that video content is very valuable when it comes to keeping eyeballs and catching eyeballs. Um, so you can check out Facebook Vibes or Meta Vibes, Meta AI. You need the app, or you can go to the website and try it. Why not? And then we've got an interesting use case from MIT's imaging. And they've got an imaging tool to help with medical research. They dropped multi-server seg. It's an AI tool that is going to make biomedical researchers' lives a lot easier. And we like to feature this because while we're not in this biomedical research, I mean, we are kind of doing some things in the background that you'll hear about soon in the medical area, that we touch on it, but we're all impacted by medical care. And so it's good to know what advancements are out there personally, not just from a business perspective. Um, and having spent some time in urgent care this weekend using ChatGPT with the doctor, it's very interesting to see how they're using AI in this environment. And the urgent care that I went to was attached to University of Washington, and it's part of the University of Washington Medical Center. So they typically have the most up-to-date tools in there, and they do have an AI that they're using. This AI tool would label medical images. So you just make a few clicks or scribbles, and the AI learns and handles entire data sets on its own. It doesn't need pre-labeled training data. And so this would save a lot of time for clinical research, drug trials, and even radiation treatment planning, because the AI can read images and label images and identify things a lot faster than humans could. So if you imagine getting an MRI or CAT scan, you would have instant results. You wouldn't need a human to read the scan. You could have AI read the scan. And it would just make everything so much faster. And it will also lower the cost. So beside, and we all want speed, and of course it would lower the cost for the hospital. Um, And I would love that. I ended up having to pay like $1,000 out of pocket for tests. But when I went to this urgent care, they couldn't tell me how much everything would cost. They had a 50-page document that had pricing for every blood draw that you could possibly have. And I said, hey, let's just take that PDF, drop it into AI, give it the list of tests, and then you can tell me how much everything is. And the doctor was amazed, and she's like, I don't know how to do that. So she handed me printed out 50 pages. So then if I needed to come back for anything else, I could, and I would know the pricing, at least, the pricing on that day. And when it came to suggestion of doing an x-ray, they didn't have pricing on x-ray, and which I think is crazy to go into. Like if you went to a grocery store, bought all your groceries, they're like, don't worry about it, we'll send you a bill later, and you don't know how much everything costs. That just seems absurd to me. When they say, trust us, it's not that much. And we would like you to get these things. Seems crazy. And so if they used AI to help in these little things, and the doctors had training on how to use it because they did have an AI that they could use, but they weren't fully trained on how it worked or to the extent that they could use it. It would be really helpful. So even the doctors who have these tools need the upskilling. They need the training on how to use the tools to really help their customers. I mean, patients, customers, sort of same thing. And then this is big news for Microsoft. Microsoft has been based on ChatGPT and its models, and now there are two Claude models that are integrated into Copilot. So Copilot users can finally use Claude models inside their protected environment. So they can use Sonnet 4 and Opus 4.1. And if anybody's played around with Claude and played around with Copilot, you know the difference. Copilot tends to be very it tends to sound like Microsoft. It tends to be very plain. It tends to be very sound like a computer wrote something. It's very short. It's not as insightful as Anthropic models tend to be. And so having the Claude models in there will make Copilot a better tool and give more options. And Copilot tends to sound more, I mean, sorry, Claude tends to sound more human when you get the outputs. And so it will allow Copilot users to have better outputs and to have them sound more human, and also to have bigger amounts of data that they can process at one time when they're using Sonnet and Opus models inside of Claude. Well, it'll be inside of Copilot. And one of the things that we've heard over and over is we work with companies that buy Copilot and they have it for all of their employees, but their employees don't use it. And they use something like Claude or ChatGPT on the side because they don't like the Copilot results. And so hopefully this will help with Copilot's adoption within organizations so that people aren't using those other tools that are outside a protected environment. Because we do work with a lot of organizations that want everybody on Copilot, but it's a really hard thing to get them off of the other LLMs. And if your team needs training on Copilot, wants to learn how to make agents in there, let us know. Let Vanessa at AI Smart Ventures know, and we can help you and your team really learn how to leverage Copilot. And we can show them how to change the models and how to create and share agents within the organization. It can be very valuable and help your team have more fun at work. Microsoft has done studies and they find people who adopt AI and use it every day enjoy their jobs more because now they have this assistant that can help take a lot of the tedious tasks off their plate, and they feel more creative. They can do their magic, work in their magic more, um, instead of doing all the tedious stuff. So let Vanessa know if you would like us to come in and train your team. And then let's see, we covered Meta. Okay, this is C3 AI is recognized as a leader in industrial AI analytics. And this is, they work with big names like Nucor and Con Edison for industrial analytics reporting. And this helps with things like predictive maintenance and supply chain optimization. And supply chain has been a big problem since COVID in the US and outside of the US. Supply chain has been an issue. I mean, if you're in manufacturing, supply chain is always an issue. And having AI help you the optimize production is so incredibly helpful. It saves time, money. You can make more money. You can sell more. You can understand what's going on to affect what you might want to produce. And predictive maintenance. You don't have to have downtime. Predictive maintenance is a big one we've seen a lot across a lot of industries, even on trucking. Being able to do predictive maintenance because there are certain indicators that would say when something needs to get fixed, and it's not just time based, but there are other sensors and things that can be integrated into manufacturing that will alert for predictive maintenance so you don't have downtime and have machines broken. Um, this is a really big cost saver, especially as the manufacturing gets bigger, the outputs get bigger on the machines. And so even if you're not in manufacturing, you can still use this in how you're running your business. You can have predictive analytics on your projects that you're doing, the services, the people on your team and the outputs. We use ClickUp, and it has a lot of this reporting on how people are doing, how much time it takes them to do certain tasks. It has a lot of this built into it. So you can even manage the people side of supply and not just the manufacturing. And it helps for individuals too, because I could see where I might be spending time in a useful way or wasting my time because I'm uploading videos or something that I shouldn't be doing. That takes a lot of time just because it's fun and I want to, and then I can see what my actual waste is in doing these things. Um, and then this is a fun one. Skilled AI is showing this omni-bodied robot brain, and the brain switches out between humanoid robots and a robot dog, a robotic arm, and it even keeps going when the hardware breaks. And so this would cut cost and time for factories, and it would help in disaster responses. Depending on where it needs, you could actually take the brain out or take the computer out of the different type of robot and put it into another one, and then deploy it in that other type of robot that you might have more need for. I mean, I think about this for people too. If I could take my brain out and give it to Crystal and have Crystal do something because my body is down right now, I could just be like, here, Crystal, now you can go take the work and do it. That would be amazing. What do you think about that one, Crystal? If we could just interchange our brains.
It would be great.
Um, so in that same way, these brains on the robots, each robot is typically designed for a specific task, but you can take that brain and change it out. And yeah, if we could change out human brains, that'd be really cool. I think that's a long ways away, but it would be pretty cool. Tools to try this week. Pictory. Pictory is fantastic for making videos, for creating videos, not editing necessarily. You can edit, but it's really good for making short videos for social blogs and other materials. You can even take a PowerPoint presentation, upload it, and turn it into a video, or just type in an idea or feed it a bunch of images and it will make a video. It's a really easy to use tool, and it's something that we like to play with a lot. And then HeyGen is another video tool, but HeyGen does use is AI avatars, which you can create from your own likeness or you can use their avatars. And they even have animated ones now too that are really cute that you can use. So you can make commercials, ads, UGC, social media. You can use it in all sorts of, we use it for training too and changing the language. It does really good with lip syncing and changing the language in our training videos. And it's available in so many different languages, and they have every gender and ethnicity on there too. And they even have a variety of accents from around the world. HeyGen is kind of our favorite for those AI avatars. It even has avatars that you can create and have attend Zoom meetings. And I've got a friend who uses the avatar for initial interviews for job applicants, and use the avatar attends the Zoom, has a little back and forth conversation with the applicant. And so they are the first filter is that AI avatar. And then that the avatar is ideally created in a way that is really unbiased. So it can remove human bias throughout the hiring process. And they use the HeyGen avatar for that. And then OS CRM is built on Go High Level. OS is the wrapper, and they help, that's the agency that helps provide support for us. And that's, we manage our LMS on there, our CRM, our pipeline, we have dashboard analytics in there. We do everything, almost everything when it comes to business operations inside of OS. And highly, highly recommend it, and highly recommend not going to Go High Level directly, because you won't see the kind of support you'll get from OS if you go to High Level directly, and it's the same price. It's the most affordable CRM that is also the most robust, and they keep adding features. You can do AI call bots in there, AI chatbots for your website, and the chatbots can also sit on all your socials, including WhatsApp. Um, it's it's a really good tool that we've been using for quite a few years now. And I just love all their consistent improvements and really an AI forward, affordable approach that they have. You can do SMSing native in there too. All right, on to how to use ChatGPT agent mode. So ChatGPT was selling the controller version of ChatGPT for $200 a month. Now they renamed it Agent and put it as a mode that you can simply select inside of ChatGPT. So let me pull this up for you and I'll show you on my ChatGPT where we can get that. Maybe. Yep. Okay. Let's stop this share and we'll go over to ChatGPT. And here's my little ChatGPT. And I can select agent mode down at the bottom. So I can select research and agent. I don't know why it has this little icon, but it's like a almost a little waffle with an arrow in it down at the bottom of your chat bar. And when you click on it, the word agent should appear so that you know you're in agent mode. And then you describe the task that you want it to do. So let's see, I'll give it a task of please go um, to the internet and find 5 competitors and the CEOs of those companies. I want their email and phone numbers. Why not? And then it's going to think a bit. It will give me the logic of how it's going to perform the task and ask me if that's how I would like it to perform that task. And then it says down here, it says turn on notifications. So get notified when there's an update on your task. I can hit allow. Oh, it says sorry, I can't help with that. Okay, probably because I asked for the contact information. So I'll just say, so please go to the internet and find 5 of our competitors that sell AI training, consulting, and advising. Now it will do this. And you can do this in deep research mode, but this is something that maybe I want to do this once a week. I can also have that it just start, it'll deliver the results to me on a regular basis. And it will notify me and let me know when my report has come in, my list has come in. So one of the things that we talked about doing internally that we started on is Reddit conversations that we should answer the questions on. And and we can do that with Quora too. And then have ChatGPT regularly, the agent would say, hey, here's this notification because there's a chat that you should chime in on Quora or on Reddit. So you can have it do these tasks for you proactively. Um, and I could set something kind of like a Google alert where if somebody mentions, if these competitors' names are mentioned on a website or a new article comes out, let me know and let me know who the editor is. Then I can contact the editor to try to get an article on that site also, if I think it's appropriate for us. Um, so there's a lot of different ways that you can use this. You can use it for internal tasks and external research. So yeah, it's showing me what it's doing, and then it will give me a notification when it's done. It does take quite a while, so I'm going to stop my share there. And I think that's about it. We do have applied AI coming up next week.